None of you are going to like what I'm about to say. That scale number that you constantly obsess about, it's not going to do for you what it's done for you before. And I'm going to say this in very, very simple terms. All the diets you have done up until this point in your life have taught you how to manipulate the scale, and you lost significant water and muscle. After you lost a lot of water and muscle, then eventually you started losing fat. But the problem was you couldn't stay with that diet. It wasn't sustainable until you were 85 years old. And so then you gained everything back and more, and you lost all that muscle in the process. So everything you have learned about the scale and getting the scale to go down really was just to lose water and muscle initially, and it wasn't sustainable. Now you're in midlife. You can't afford to lose any muscle. In fact, you probably need to put some muscle on, which means the scale's going to go up because 1 pound of muscle equals 1 pound of fat. Now, as a midlife woman, you're eating adequate protein, maybe doing strength training a few times a week, and you're starting to build muscle. And then you look at the scale and you go, shit, the scale's going up 5 or 10 pounds. I must be doing something wrong. I'm supposed to be losing weight here. No, this can't be happening. Except you're putting on the tissue that is exactly the most valuable stuff that you absolutely need to help your metabolism and get you leaner. And guys, listen, I've been doing this for 11 years, working with women over 35. I see this time and time again. So many women who have dieted so much that they're under-muscled. And, as we age, we lose muscle as well. And if we're not kind of doing things in advance, we just are losing this stuff as we age. And then we get to a point where, we have a lot of body fat and we want to lose body fat, but we also have to put on muscle as part of this process, which means that the scale just isn't going to do for you what it did when you were younger. Which means if you're not taking measurements in this process, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because things just don't work the same way as when you were 20. You were under-muscled. You've probably done a lot of dieting that's contributed to some of that. We need to now put on some muscle to help your metabolism and to help you just be healthier overall. Do you want to be in a nursing home when you're 80 because you have no muscle, but you're thin? Thinness does not mean that you're healthy. My dad was thin his whole life, had a heart attack at 36 and died from Alzheimer's when he was 71, and he was diagnosed in his early 60s. What a life of thinness. That was not like being healthy. That was just being thin and unhealthy. You can be such a thing as thin and unhealthy. So you have to really reconcile thinking about going about losing body fat differently. And I get that this is a really different thing, but put it this way, if you put on 20 pounds of muscle, lose 10 pounds of fat, the scale's going to be up 10 pounds, but your measurements should be down. It's a good thing if measurements are going down because that means you're losing body fat. I mean, is it more important to you to see a number on the scale, or is it most important for your pant size to go down, for you to feel leaner and stronger and have more endurance and all of that? I mean, I see a lot of women who are driving themselves a wackadoodle over this scale number, and it's completely unnecessary. The thing I very, very normally see with clients in my nutrition practice, I mean, over the last 11 years, I've been seeing this pretty consistently, is that so many women are under-muscled that when they go in their first deficit, the scale doesn't move a lot. And that's because 1 pound of muscle equals 1 pound of fat. So they're putting on muscle, losing fat simultaneously. They lose 10 pounds, they gain 10 pounds of muscle, right? So there's zero scale change. That is pretty normal for me to see with quite a few of my clients. And then their second deficit or their third deficit later on, that's when we finally start to see that scale go down. So please keep this in mind.